Hi, my name is Chris Bartholomew, and this mess of boxes and wires is my live setup for TQLive on Friday at the Lit and Phil. I'll be performing with the phenomenal poet Ian Cusack alongside Chelsea Hare and Posset. I thought I'd just give a little rundown of the tools I'm going to be using and roughly what they do. So, in front of me, I've got three basic sound sources: Arturia Drum Brute drum machine, the Elmira drone synth, and an iPad running sampler. Sorry, I know that was a bit out of shot. I'll bring it over in a minute. The Drum Brute I'm using in kind of two ways. For the improvise sections, I'm running it at its absolute fastest, 300 BPM, and each pattern that I've got in here is just running as many triggers as I can within the pattern. So essentially we get drones. Let's just hear a little bit of that. So if we do one of these, then we hear something like this. And you can really kind of shape those drones. It's really nice. Bring some more noise in, kind of change how those things work. Absolutely love it. Now, the Drum Brute gets a lot of flack online. I don't think it sounds amazing on its own, and you'll notice there's a whole range of guitar pedals on here, and most of those are treating the Drum Brute. So on the kick 2, which is like the boomier, more 808 kick, we've got that running out of here into this distortion pedal and then into the light pedal, which is, if we switch it on, a spring reverb, but it's slightly different because it uses LEDs and infrared sensors to create a kind of optical spring reverb as well. So when we hit the kick, let's crank that up a little bit. Oh, good dungeon sounds. I absolutely love the light pedal. It sounds fantastic on pretty much anything. And if you really want to get into horror film territory, you stick it in feedback mode and let it self-oscillate. Yeah, really fantastic. Get rid of some of that. Next up, we have the snare channel, which is coming over to this Old Blood Noise Endeavors Minim, which is a delay and reverb and octave up glitchery thing. And basically, this is just, again, just to give a bit more texture to the drones. So this is dry, kind of interesting. There's some things you can do. Kind of nice. I mean, louder for a start, but some really nice kind of airy dustiness to that I just absolutely love. And then with a bit of octave up, absolutely gorgeous. Let's kill that. Third channel that I've got coming out of the Drum Brute is the low tom, and that is going up to the top right. And this is a Homegrown Devices Petals, which is a playable distortion pedal. It sounds a little bit like this. So, yeah, without it, low tom. Sounds kind of fine. Engage the pedals. Immediately much harsher. And then, as we move our fingers around, you kind of start hearing the kind of distortion circuits kind of changing and feeding back on themselves, and really nice, really nice. Okay, so now we move on to the synth element, which is the Elmira, which is kind of inspired by the Soma Lyra 8, but it's quite different. All the oscillators are digital, the delay is digital, the filter and distortion are both analog. And yeah, it's a very particular sound, and it's one that I try and use a lot and then doesn't often make it into things, but I do really like it for this. So with nothing else, it sounds quite harsh and powerful. And then if we dial in the modulation is really extreme. Yeah, really kind of wild. And then that is coming through this circuit bent Behringer Reaver pedal that a lovely guy called Jonathan Higgins made for me. And basically this dial right here changes the clock speed of the whole pedal. So once we send some sound through it, and I'll just set that all the way on. If we start with it in kind of fully normal mode, quite nice reverb. Like, again, dusty, distant, slightly bit crushed. You can really hear that bit crushing coming in there. It's really lovely. Very good. Also running into... One day I'll learn how to make that switch off readily, but it won't be today. So as well as going into that, I've also got this, which is the Soma Etherwave, and it does this. It's a electromagnetic field kind of sonifier, and yeah, it just picks up the electromagnetic fields that all of the electronics are creating. Sounds really nice, especially through some of these as well. Oh, and then you've got the light pedal doing feedbacky things on top. Lovely combo. I actually hadn't found that as a noise until just now. And finally, we've got Sampler on the iPad. And this is the main thing I'm using for underscoring Ian's poems. I've got various sampler projects. Each of them holds 6 samples on this version of the app. And it just lets me play these samples really easily. So, for example, I think this was a cymbal that I found in a rehearsal room. Pitch down 2 octaves, -24. And I can just kind of scan through the sound and find all those, like, lovely little bits of it. And then up here I'm adding some, not adding any filtering, I'm doing a bit of delay and a bit of reverb. And you can really kind of get very precise and forensic about where things are playing back from. That kind of covers it. That was a bit of a whirlwind tour. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, either pop them in the comments or come find me on Friday at the Lit & Phil in Newcastle. I think gig kicks off at about 7:30, doors at 7. It'd be lovely to see some faces there. I'm really excited. Thank you very much.